how do the NAMAs enter the national strategy? So the national strategy is a national REDD plus strategy, and REDD as a concept is a payment for a result. So the NAMAs don't enter the REDD plus strategy. The REDD plus strategy is focused on optimizing the efforts that are underway from 2004, starting in 2014 through 2020 to make the results, to continue with the results that we have and expand that. And the idea is that we could get payments for this performance and then reinvest on actions and policies that are contributing to this result. But the main focus of the national strategy is to bring the carbon component, but having as a perspective the payment that we would receive. If the payments do not come about, and if there is no finance, international finance for REDD, the national strategy does not have a reason to be, because it's one of the requirements from the convention to assess payments. We have other policies underway in Brazil that tackle deforestation, just like other countries have presented here, different national initiatives that contribute to achieving the results. But the issue of having a national strategy is bringing up that climate component, having in mind the mitigation aspect that was brought under the convention. Throughout time, a lot of expectations have been created, and people started thinking, oh, REDD is the solution for all forest governance problems of the world. That's not how we see it. We don't think it's going to solve all the governance forest problems, not even in Brazil. It's just one trigger to foment economy within a sector that doesn't have this incentive to keep the forest standing. I don't know if I answered everything. It's so confusing right now. Oh, yeah, okay. So a lot of people asked us also, why did you submit a forest reference level for an analysis if you had a very simple reference level for the Amazon Fund and you were already receiving payments, so you didn't have to go through this process on the UNFCCC in order to get resources because you get the recognition already? Why would you do that? The issue is, after 8 years of negotiations, we see that this is a very crucial time for REDD. It's time to implement REDD and test the model. Let's see, it's what I said in my group before. Let's see, show me the money. Is there money for climate finance? If I do everything that you're requiring me, even though I'm doing almost as much as Annex 1 countries need to do under the convention, will you pay me? So we're basically testing the model and seeing if the developed countries that are into these talks are as committed as they say they are. And the idea is that we need to shift the focus from all these discussions. What are the targets for developing countries? What are developing countries doing? Developing countries are not doing enough. Developing countries are already doing a lot. And we need to get the recognition for this, and we need to get the payments for this. And we need to do this before Paris. So this is why we rushed to submit our reference level, and we want to put the model to a test, because if the payments do not come, we can go to Paris and say, okay, we got the recognition for our results in June 2015, we are here in December, and we only have received finance for this much. So it's in the process of negotiations, we think it's important to give emphasis for the implementation of a mechanism that's already set to developing countries to implement. So let's see how it works. This is why we presented it. We are looking forward to cooperating with other countries. I think the idea for us to be at this workshop was exactly this one. We are not part of the UN-REDD, we are not part of the FCPF or any of these initiatives, but the invitation came from UN-REDD and from Ecuador for us to show the things that we are doing. And the idea is the forest reference level for countries could be really complex. If you go to the VCS and you want to do a reference level for the VCS, forgive me, VCS people, we pick on you, but it's so complex and it demands so much from countries and it costs so much. And what's the point? You can have a certain level of uncertainty, but in the end, we are not going to receive all the payments for all the results that we are showing. There is a big room for, if there are uncertainties, we are covered by a huge buffer. So let's keep it simple.